Well, we made it through another week. Hey, Tilcon, New York. Super Bowl Sunday. You know, it's almost become like a religious holiday, but we'll treat it as such. So today we got the Super Bowl, Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Bucks. You know, I've never been a real big New England Patriots fan, but you got to hand it to Tom Brady. You know, 43 years old, pretty accomplished in what he's done. You know, he's taken a franchise that's been floundering for 20 years. And, you know, last week we talked about leadership, and, you know, Tom has shown his leadership skills and qualities in changing a work environment to make them successful. So that's what we ask all of our leaders. Now, you know, we're not going to win 6+ Super Bowls if that be our case, but you know, having our folks go home safely each and every day and having everybody work together as a team, that shows our leadership qualities as well. So today, we want to talk a little bit about, you know, elements 3 and 4 in our management system, our Tilcon New York Environmental Health Safety and Security Management System. All right, so the first one we're going to talk about today is hazard recognition, evaluation, and control. And this really talks about maintaining our safe working conditions, or our working conditions in the safest manner possible. So some of the things that come out of here are the permit to work programs, and that's our hot work program, lock, tag, and try, confined space, close proximity. Those are all programs that, you know, we ask all of you to complete in association with the risk assessments that you do. Job hazard or job safety analysis. Some of our job tasks need to have that. So what are the hazards that are there, or what the job tasks that we're doing? What's the hazards associated with that job task? And what are the control measures that we could put into place? How we deal with material handling. And we move stuff all over the yards. We move stuff, you know, materials throughout the maintenance shops, you know, throughout the quality control labs. I mean, we move a lot of material through there. So how are we handling it? Are we doing the best that we can? And sometimes we need, you know, we need mechanical devices rather than just picking things up. Workplace design and engineering. I mean, that's something that, you know, our CapEx projects, the engineers that we have help us to design and redesign some of the processes that we have to make them a safer work environment. And then the last piece of this is really risk assessments. You know, how are we doing? How can we do a good job with the risk assessments that we have? So another piece with regards to hazard recognition, evaluation, and control is inspections. You know, are we doing the inspections that we have to do in regards to the required OSHA inspections? Are we inspecting our fire extinguishers? Are we inspecting all the processes that, you know, all the safety processes that we have? The fire systems in our yellow iron. Are we checking out all the, you know, the electrical safety pieces that we have in our MCC rooms and throughout the facilities, making sure all of our safety systems, our pull cords, our safety pull cords, you know, all the safety interlocks that we have, are they all working? That's something that we have to do on a regular basis, on a prescribed basis. The other thing, you know, I want to talk to you about is our pre-shift inspections. I don't know if there's really been a misunderstanding, but we have our, you know, our pre-inspection forms here, and I know Mrs. Cacavelli can't zoom in on it, but you guys all know what this is. You see this on a regular basis. Thank you for trying, Mrs. Cacavelli. She's such a sweetheart. But, I mean, the most important thing here is that, you know, we have this in, you know, very simple, red, yellow, and green. How about that? So to make it as simple as possible, anything that's in green when you do your pre-shift inspection means that you can operate that piece of equipment. Anything that comes up in yellow that you put down on the yellow portion of it, you need to make sure that there's caution. Hey, wait a minute, I need to talk to somebody about this. And you would call your supervisor, you know, lead person, foreman, to make sure that you discuss what has to be done. The red means stop. Do not operate that piece of equipment. So if you've signed off on this pre-shift inspection and you've signed something off in the red column, please do not operate that piece of machinery. If you have tags available, put a tag on it and notify your supervisor, because we may need to put something into the CMMS system to make sure that we can take care of that before we operate it. Because if we operate it in the red zone, we're operating an unsafe piece of equipment, which puts everybody in jeopardy. And we don't want to do that. So just a couple of quick things that I have, the second part of our management system, and I'll get to training and development in a second here, is the addendum that we have that kind of talks about it. So in this part of it, it has the engineering aspects. So what engineering standards do we have? Pressure vessels, pressure relief devices, equipment and piping that we have, critical equipment, instrumentation, electrical, fire protection systems, machine guarding, and then how do we deal with process designs? Mike Cutlarts and his team do a good job of that, and we need to work together with regards to helping them understand what's a good, safe work design for our facilities. How do we lay out our facilities? The building and structural designs. Protective systems, our CapEx projects and how we do reviews of them, our contractor and subcontractor safety, and then how we interface what our insurance companies, our workers' comp companies, but our property insurance companies as well. So it's important that we tie all of that together to maintain safe working conditions. And once again, hazard recognition, evaluation, and control. That makes us successful. So the second critical piece that I want to talk to you about is training and development. So everybody gets an orientation when they come into Tilcon, New York. You get a little piece of, human resources. They'll talk about all the benefits and the things that, that they have for you to make you feel comfortable as an employee, a new employee joining the organization. And then, the safety department will speak for probably the last 6 hours or so of that first day to get you oriented with all the processes and the safety projects that we have going on. So that's really, really important. And then when you get back to wherever you are working, if you're working in Parsippany, you're working in Mount Hope, you're working in Clinton Point, you're working in Haverstraw, it doesn't really make a difference where you are. You will get a site-specific training with regards to what the procedures are there, what the emergency protocols are, where you would meet in the event of an emergency. I mean, all of those pieces need to be reviewed with you personally by your shift supervisor, plant leader, department leader. It doesn't really make a difference, but they need to sit down and have a talk with you in regards to all of that. So we have a lot of training that we do throughout the year. Besides that orientation, you have toolbox talks. You guys will have safety huddles, if you will. Your risk assessments. When you get down with risk assessments, that's a form of communication and training. The monthly topics that we put out, the hazard awarenesses that we have. The safety meetings, refresher training. This year it's going to be a little tough with the refresher. A lot of it may be online. So we're going to have to set it up where everybody has the opportunity to go in and maybe have to take and look at some video courses in order for us to maintain that safe distance with regards because of the COVID-19. So, I prefer hands-on, and I'm sure all of you do. And we wanted to do that, but, once again, we need to keep each other safe. And then the last thing is, the hazard awareness that we have, and that's for contractors and visitors coming onto our site. We have a little tick list, if you will, but it's important that we do a good job orientating contractors and visitors to our locations, regardless whether they're going through the maintenance shops, whether they're going through asphalt plants, even if they're just, going throughout the ag facilities. It's important that they have an understanding of what our safety requirements are and what our expectations of them working on our facilities, not their expectations of us. There's a piece of that we have to provide them, but we need to make sure that they're abiding by our safety rules and requirements as well. The other piece of that is that in our system, we also have all the training that's required, in our environmental health and safety management system. So that's all listed out in here as well. It includes experience operator retraining as well. Now, it's nothing against anybody that's been doing a job for 15, 20 years. Not saying that, hey, you're a bad operator. But sometimes, we get caught in complacency. We've been kind of putting the blinders on, just like we do driving. Everybody does it. Sometimes you'll change lanes without putting a directional on. That's just because it's just a habit. We just kind of go through that, roll through the stop sign. I mean, all these things that we do. Maybe we don't do it very often, but sometimes we'll go about it and we pick up bad habits along the way. So sometimes just going through refresher training is important for all of us, just to kind of get that refreshing of understanding. Maybe there's something that's new in the procedure that really hasn't been shared correctly. So with all of that, like our stockpile procedure, safety procedure that we just put, came about in September by a team of you. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for sharing that. But that's how we end up sharing and learning from each other. So with all that being said, Mrs. Cacavalli and I are going to enjoy a bowl full of wings, tonight as we watch the Super Bowl. And we have our football pools, which is another part of Super Bowl Sunday. So we're hoping for the best with regards to that. So Tilcon, New York, stay safe and enjoy the game.